Okay, I have to continue to use my phone until I can buy a new one, and I love my Huawei, and I'll probably get another Huawei, which might mean I need to cheat to be able to use Google on it because it's the lame rules between Google and the U.S. government and Huawei and all that BS. All the smoke and mirrors of what they're telling you versus what's really going on in the real world. Nonetheless, I'm going to use it, and so you're going to have some audio that's only going to play out of one side. This one will probably be out of the right hand speaker because that's the way the phone is facing. So it's trying to record stereo from the two different microphones, and one of them isn't working. Nonetheless, I just realized this green wire, this green shielded wire looks like it traces along here, comes across, holding my finger on it, comes in and bundles back over and comes up right here, likely connects this bundle, which was these two were together here, and so were these, and so basically this looks like a parallel connection. So while we're on video here, let's just see if we can snip that out of there. And if that's the case, then we're on the right track to being able to split this. To isolate one side to the other, I believe. I'm not super concerned because I do eventually want to spin a rotor up to terminal velocity and see what that is. Have plans for that. But, so what I'm getting at there is if I wreck this one and I can't repair it to be able to use it again, I'm not super concerned. But my goal is to be careful here and get it working the way it should be. And be able to parallel. Here we go. Oh, gotta cut that one a little better. Those are probably, I don't know if you call them twine. Oh, you know what? Oh no, I thought that was my temp sensor. I'm pretty sure the temp sensor, where did I see it? Temp sensor wire here goes down and gets probably shoved down one of the stator slots a little bit. Probably in here somewhere, drops down into one of the stator slots. Honestly, anywhere bundled in the wires. Yeah, there we go. So this wire was essentially a parallel connection, joining one side to the other. So we'll get rid of that. Now we have 3 here, 3 here, which actually split into duals. So they're 3 duals. So this would be 2, 4, 6. Then this would be 8, 10, 12. Then we would likely have our 3 phase wires, which are probably enough wires. These are 15 strands per grouping. So there's 15, I counted them last night. 15 there, 15 there. So there'll be 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. And I bet you these are 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, which would be, so that would be, let's see, 6 groups, 12 groups. And that would be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And that makes sense because there's 48 slots in this stator. So I think I'm getting it narrowed down now. It's starting to make a little bit of a sense. Peeling that one parallel wire out of there totally makes the math make sense now. Now I have a number not only divisible by 3, I also have a number that's half as many of the stator slots, which to me means, and to flip this over to do one quick whole video so that I don't have to edit multiple videos together, there is no other connections on the bottom here, but what you can see is each group of windings skips 4 slots. So it does this slot, that skips 1, 2, 3, 4, and then goes back. So each group of winding comes out and does that, goes back. And it does that all the way around on this side. So what's going on? And a friend of mine showed me, I forgot about this, showed me a winding calculator that you can use online, and basically it shows you what it'll probably look like. So this is kind of like a laid out, what would you call it, a linear view of the slots. So you'd have one winding coming here and doing a loop, and basically you can see how it skips 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've probably entered it in correctly. 48 slots, and it's 8 magnet poles, 4 pole pairs, and so that would be our winding factor. This will help you figure it out. So now what I got to do is I got to figure out how this works. So what it's probably doing, I have to think about this for a minute, but what it's probably doing is either every connection, every peak on this side has to be connected manually, or every second one. I have to work the math on that. But yeah, we're getting there. So this is all starting to make sense now. Pretty excited about this. I should be able to have this solved. I still don't know if it's Y or delta. I'm gonna figure that part out soon. All right, I think I have this figured out. Once I remove this parallel connection, which is kind of probably redundant, I was able to use my multimeter. I had to scrape a bunch of these windings, figure it out. But I was able to figure out, like, I have 1 and 2 from the black here. So it would be like phase A. I have 1 and 2. And they both go to this one. And then they also both go to one of these two on this side. I believe it's this one actually right here. Sorry, I'll move the camera over there. So, but what I figured out though, is once I split the two groups inside this, what I believe is going on is these 3 would be bundled together for a Y termination. These 3 would be bundled together for a Y termination. Once I split them to 2 groups of 15 like this, then I have the left and the right isolated. So now we can make a split phase motor. So I think what I got to do is I got to peel these protective insulation covers off, split them into their 2 groups, figure out which group goes where, connect 2 groups of 3 on each side, which makes 2 Y terminations on each side, and then I might add back 2 of these parallel connections. I don't know if I need those or not. I have to think about that, but I believe what it is this is a Y termination on both sides, and then with just a, maybe call it a wire to parallel them for balancing currents, because they were actually connected anyway. But once I split these bundles underneath these, then it lets me isolate the 2 groups. Like you can see here, I have 2 blacks. You can see here I have two oranges or reds, whatever you want to call it. And then in the middle I have 2 whites. So I can actually split those up, and it'll essentially be 2 separate stators wound in one housing when I'm done.